Bronze. You man are going bronze this year. Storms. On this year, gone this year. Man, I eat rice and stew and when I'm strong this year. Big like John this year. Ball like LeBron this year. Storm's got a platinum plat, but you man are going bronze this year. Yeah. They wanna. That's a. You get. If I say this, they might revolt, but I'm the king of grind by default. Big ego, man can't diss my amigo. Old school bad boy like Figo. Anywhere they go, then we go. Yo, big flips, hop out the jet first. Man, I run into the money till my leg hurts. And you don't rap, bitches network. Name a young MC with my net worth. I Google lied, they said that I'm 1.5, but I made that last night. And money don't make me fry, but they got mad when I said them in a million off gram. These gatekeepers are and you go sick. Take the so in other words, I phone crazy T like yo Titch. You was right about him, he's a ain't no diss tracks, I just switch. Then we move on and get rich. On this year, gone this year. Man, I eat rice and stew and when I'm strong this year. Big like John this year. Ball like LeBron this year. Storm's got a platinum plat, but you man are going bronze this year. She said that I don't mean to intrude, but I love the smell of your. I said thanks babe, yours too. Big Mac, I'm a real fly dude. If I'm in the race, I won't lose. When you hit the stage, you get booed. If I'm in the race, I won't lose. You ain't bad, you're just rude. Lamborghini too sporty. She ain't bad, she just. I'm a big man, but I'm not 40. Anything that I drop top 40. Why them boys don't support me? Oh, them boys are too hatey. I don't know, they just hate me. Overall, underrate me, humble them. On this year, gone this year. Man, I eat rice and stew and when I'm strong this year. Big like John this year. Ball like LeBron this year. Storm's got a platinum plat, but you man are going bronze this year. On
We are live, the home of the Trailblazers in beautiful Portland, Oregon. Here we go. It's the NBA, and it's live right here on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge on the sideline. You look at the Suns. What a story right now for these guys. Win after win. It's been a phenomenal stretch.
And it seems like every win they string together, this group gets tougher and tougher to beat. Playing beautiful basketball here of late.
There are a lot of things going on besides their execution as this group seems to be coming together. Leaping ability is off the charts. Not the biggest power forward, but outstanding. It's rising up off the ground.
Do you remember, Greg, if you watched the standings very much when you played?
You know, we were always aware of it, and a lot of that had to do with the goals. I remember early in my career playing for the Knicks, you know, we were trying to win championships, and we talked a lot about home court and having that come postseason time. So you were absolutely aware of where you were because of the goals you've set, but I think that also changes depending on who you are as a team. If you're a championship caliber team that's won it, maybe you're in the midst of a dynasty run, it may not matter as much because you know how good you are and you can win no matter where the venue.
And here's Lillard. He brings it up to the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh man, it's 7-1. Not a good idea to challenge Ayton there.
Portland. No good that time either. Over to the wing. Ball surveying the floor. No good. Now Portland takes it the other way. And going against Phoenix, their first meeting of the season.
And last year, an entertaining season series between the two ended up battling to a draw.
Yeah, these two teams were so similar in so many ways last season, both in the standings and on the court. Very interested to find out who has the edge this time around.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
And it's the Suns with the ball. The Blazers getting the bucket.
Booker to the cup with confidence. Feels like he can beat anybody off the dribble right now.
And Devin Booker had surgery on that right hand back in the summer of 2018. Took the opportunity to work on his left hand, and ever since, his game has just gone to another level.
You wonder how much confidence, GA, he's had in making plays, not only scoring the ball with the left hand, but assisting with the left hand, and what that's opened up for him in terms of opportunities to be more effective as an offensive weapon.
And here's the fast break. Bridges, no one around him. And Ayton stays with it. Ayton's got 6 points.
Defense unable to stop DeAndre Ayton that time, getting inside and using his frame.
Covington wide open. He fires. And the rejection by Ayton. Here's Bridges. Good. And a nice assist from Booker.
That's pretty steady from Bridges. Does not let the contact throw him off one bit.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And guys, if you don't control second chance opportunities, you don't control your fate. That has to be their key takeaway from that one.
Well, maybe they went into that game thinking rebounding not something they needed to focus on. They absolutely did.
Now here's Anthony. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Basket good.
Melo buries these kind of shots all the time. It seems like there's not a difficult shot in Melo's handbook.
A shot by Kaminsky. Nobody around. And that one's good, Ayton.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Out of bounds, Trailblazers ball as Portland keeps possession. It's stolen by Johnson. Phoenix, another fast break opportunity here. Here's Galloway, taken away by Anthony. Jones drives in. Down low, the 10-footer. And it's wide right, hits off the rim. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Outside, Jones. There's the 3. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
Yeah, you know they wanted a few of those plays back. What a tough way to go out in that one.
Yeah, really a game that they should not have lost, but sometimes even when you play your best, it might not be good enough.
To the inside. It's stolen by Kaminsky. Here's Ayton. And Ayton throws it down.
The skills growing maybe right in front of our eyes here for DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre, he has been the guy making things happen. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1/4 of action so far. And taking a look at the Suns' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
And you don't see that all that often, getting down there and doing that much damage in a quarter. You got to respect the game plan.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Alden.
Kevin, good evening. Well, last season the Blazers were beset by injuries and they fell short of their goals. Their star Damian Lillard said, "Once we're in a better position, I want people to remember how I responded when things didn't go my way. They know my character is true." Kevin, we know that Dame grew up in Oakland, a place where overcoming adversity was ingrained. Back to you.
Thank you, D.A. Galloway, no good. Lillard. Again, the Trailblazers good for two.
Just so good at rising, firing, and dismantling defenses.
Well, you look at the career that Dame Lillard has had so far. Taken 6th in the 2012 draft out of Weber State, a small school, but this guy became a franchise player immediately for the Blazers.
A wide open look here for Anthony. Rebound by Johnson.
I'm not going to see that very often. The defense in the vicinity, but still, he's not one to blow layups.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And thinking of Lillard, the numbers over his career are incredible.
And Lillard found his strength as a shooter, and boy, did he exploit it. He's been averaging 20 points per game almost his entire career, and he's kept adding to his game as one of the elite players in our league.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Here's Bridges. Portland knocking down that triple moments ago. The drive by Paul. Booker outside. And the 3 ball is good. Booker's got 7.
Chris Paul came into the league playing unselfish, continues to do so. Another reminder that Damian Lillard can be explosive, and we love it.
Here's Paul. We saw him with 29 points last game. Booker outside. High arcing shot. Portland grabs the miss. And there's the call on Devin Booker. That is his first foul of the game. Greg, as a point guard, what is it you like to see from that position on the floor?
I think first and foremost, leadership. It's so valuable at that spot, and you know, you always got to have your head high because your teammates are feeding off what you put forth in terms of your body language and enthusiasm. So, you know, the typical stuff about organizing the offense and setting the tone on the defensive end, that stuff's important as well, but so much of how you carry yourself out on the floor when you deal with adversity and you know that you're going to, is really paramount. And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
The Trailblazers shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game. Suns leading by 3. Booker outside. From past the arc. That's good. Basket number 5 on a 5-for-8 night shooting.
Yeah, they're relying on their 3-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Pass to Simons. Outside Covington. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Oh, Ayton in position. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Just great hands for Ayton to time that one.
And the dunk by Covington.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
You have to credit the aggressiveness offensively because that's when you make a play when you really need it.
traditionally, that's how you want to finish the break, right at the rim.
Yeah, anything other than a layup in that situation, probably disappointing. Had numbers, took advantage.
To the right side. No problems knocking that one down. Bridges got his second bucket of the game to go.
Bridges confident right now, and I like to see him just be quick with those kind of decisions.
Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession.
Well, that's two teammates who need to reintroduce themselves to one another, not on the same page.
And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Phoenix Suns. 6-point lead. Kaminsky in the corner. A three-pointer off the mark. So it's Portland now. They've got the Wizards ahead of them. Their next game in Washington. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip-in. Here's Paul. And a close game so far through the first two quarters as we reach halftime. Suns lead by 4. From Portland, we're back in a moment. Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. And Jones now, it's out the key. Count the basket and the foul. Chris Paul picks up that one.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
The Suns leading. Pass to Bridges. Now Paul. And Ayton stays with it.
Continuing to show activity on the offensive glass. Second chance buckets have been huge.
Here's Simons. And the rejection by Ayton. Bridges misses.
Well, he had the perfect opportunity to finish that one, guys. Just flat out blew it.
The game now all time. Simons has got his third bucket of the night.
So impressive. The fortitude, the will to battle back, but it did take a lot of energy to get here.
Well, they didn't really have a choice at the position that they were. They had to fight hard. They've gotten that. They've outworked the other team. Just fighting tonight.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Boy, that was a momentum killer to start last season, wasn't it, Greg? 25-game suspension for DeAndre Ayton.
And he sprained his ankle in his return game. The Suns at full strength, able to win some games. He's obviously a huge part of their future.
Well, this guy should be a double-double threat and is still learning how to play. DeAndre Ayton has a great combination of size, scoring ability, and rebounding. This is what makes him a very valuable player in the league.
And the Suns making a change here. Greg, I think of you in a New York Knicks uniform, legendary arena you played in. What was that experience like?
Kevin, intense. I remember the first time I suited up in a preseason game. We played the Dallas Mavericks. Both teams went up and down the court 3 times and nobody scored, and the fans started booing. And that's when I knew this is a little bit different. You better bring your A game.
And thicker skin, correct?
That too, yeah. Fortunately, there was no social media or internet back then. Goodness gracious. They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And it's more penetrating. Up again. Saric on the follow. And the Suns lead by 3.
Well, Dario does a nice job recovering and uses his size to beat out the smaller defender.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Whether things are good, bad, or indifferent, coaches will have adjustments to make throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, not just there to pump up or to discipline players. You got to make sure that the coach makes the proper adjustments and has his team in the right mindset to carry it out.
Step back and squared up. Lillard's got 14 points for the game.
Lillard just plays with great confidence, really feeling it here and looking to find any scoring opportunity in this one.
Gotta take care of the ball. They'll punish you if you're that careless.
That's right, and that's severe punishment right there.
And how about the sequence in its entirety? Momentum swing, and you love the effort here.
Hood drives in, uses the glass to finish the layup. And now a three-point Trailblazer lead. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Suns. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans, they'll match up against the Pelicans.
Yeah, just nice strength there, and then just off with the shot.
This is his first trip to the line tonight, and he makes the first. And so he makes both from the line.
Well, when he gets into a groove at the free throw line, it doesn't just last for tonight. This might be 2 weeks, 2 months, something like that.
Now here's Lillard. He's got 16. Here's Sharch. No good with the layup.
Is it getting cold in here? This is a tough one. Crucial that he starts to work a little harder for a higher percentage shot.
A tight game here in Portland. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Pass to Trent. Fires from deep. Out of bounds. Phoenix will take possession. .114 left in the third quarter of the game. Johnson outside. A three-pointer is right on target. And the Suns lead by 2.
You got to try to scramble the Jets right here and get that guy off the sweet spot. That's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
And the shot is good. Lillard's got 8 points in the quarter.
Just straight quickness. Lillard showing off the effortless blow-by.
Moore with the bucket.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead. Go into the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, gotta chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
There's some ways to get your coach's attention, and that draws the coaching staff's ire.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Phoenix getting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Effective ways that E'Twaun Moore can score. He's had some very good shooting years, and he's going to find his way to the free throw line here. Big trip to the line. He did not get all of them, but at least they hold the lead now.
But they'll get another chance. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Trent. 6 on the shot clock. Over Moore. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Trent got his 3rd basket of the night. Bridges. Good. Nice job down low.
Just so efficient right now on offense. Bridges picking up his spots and recognizing when to strike.
That's a 2 from Lillard. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be an exciting neck-and-neck game. Phoenix ahead, up by 1. And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. The Suns leading. And it's Paul penetrating. And Covington sends it back. And here comes the break. Here's Cantor. Some solid defense from Ayton.
I mean, he gets a lot of points right there at the rim, but the defense determined not to give up the easy deuce there.
Pass to Canner. Kicks it out to Lillard. Fires for three. That shot is off. So Phoenix will take it the other way. Booker in the corner. Outside Crowder. From outside, off the mark.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
We've seen some great competition in this one.
Yeah, 7 already in the game, and I think it shows you how well these two teams match up with one another.
Pass to Ayton. Nifty move. Wow, hammering it in.
Yeah, Ayton up there just to drop it in and take some of that rim with them.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Well, DeAndre Ayton is a walking double-double. This guy has a huge physical advantage on the nights that he's playing other bigs, whether that's by his size or his ability to run the floor. And if he comes out with an aggressive mentality, he could really punish some teams throughout the course of a regular season.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Terry Stotts went over with his team. This is still a close game, and he told us guys, we're not far away. We can still get this one. If we seize the moment, we can walk away with the win, guys.
Thanks, David. And some think that Ayton has a chance to be in a class with some of the great big men we've seen, be it Ewing or Robinson, Hakeem. I mean, those are very lofty standards. Brent, how does he get there?
It's a great question. I think when you talk about it, Kevin, you got to look at the defensive end. And those names that you just mentioned on a nightly basis were a force behind anybody on the perimeter. When they came into that house, it was defended. If Ayton gets there, he's got a big opportunity.
Bridges misses. And so it's Covington who brings up the ball for the Portland Trail Blazers. It's a one-point game.
And this is the effort you want to see out of your guys, win or lose.
A great example out here of just a no-quit team continuing to compete until the final buzzer.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
And the first one at the line is good.
Now, there's been a lot of stops in CP3's career, but there's been no doubt that when he's on the team, he is the vocal and emotional leader of their production.
Listen, there's no doubt he feels like they should have the lead, but that miss will keep it all tied up.
Ayton in the high post. And it's slammed in by Bridges.
And Bridges elevating his game. Woo!
And here's Portland. Trailing by 2. Kicks it out to Covington. Anthony. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is why Melo wants the ball. No fear whatsoever letting that one fly.
Near the three-point line, it's Booker. And that one hits back iron.
And that's just enough defensive pressure on him to throw off that shot. I bet he gets a good look at it next time and hits it.
Big-time hoop from Covington. He's had to earn everything he's gotten in his NBA career.
And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
On the wing, Booker. Another shot. And Ayton with the layup. Ayton's got 24.
How about that? Ayton showing why he was picked first overall. That's a reason.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're leading by 1. There's a minute 34 left in the fourth quarter. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Lillard with it. And Damian Lillard with the jam.
Look at your watch. It's Lillard time.
1:25 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Paul. And that one is good.
I just love how Chris Paul steps up and nails crucial baskets. A huge momentum-changing shot there.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his fourth foul of the contest. Portland leading. .112 left in the fourth quarter. And Cantor wide open. He shoots. Comes up empty from 19 feet out. Pass to Crowder. Ball outside. Oh, Ayton in position. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul.
And the score being this close, you have to retain possession of the ball. You just can't give it away like that.
And here are the Trailblazers now. They lead by 1. Here's Lillard. Count it!
Oh, the nerves on this guy.
Not backing down from this moment here. When the game is close, he kicks it up a notch.
.35 seconds left in the fourth. From the line, they get it again. Booker. Excellent D from Cantor. On the wing, Jones. Goes back up. Money!
Give them credit. They've worked hard all game, now looking to finish it.
No, great job of getting in position to win a game. It's been an all-out effort from the squad.
Here's Trent. Power down with both hands.
Melo good at scanning the entire floor, and that's why that time he found the open teammate.
Pass to Bridges. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll go to the line to shoot 3.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there on the three-point attempt.
The second one drops, and that brings them within 5.
Mikal Bridges, I think one of those talents coming out of college. But a lot of teams expected him to have a 10 or 12-year career playing a great role as a two-way player in the NBA.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're in front by 4. 1 second left in the fourth quarter of this one. Off the inbound pass. Off target.
Good show of strength and confidence from Devin Booker that time. I like to see him active on the defensive end.
And so the big win by Portland in a tight game. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group has in one another when it.
Son ain't go to college. I told him, mama, let's not worry, cause I got it. Money is the object. I gotta stay on top. I learned that from my brother Benz, and I always kept that in my knowledge. Too cool, yeah, he too modest. She tryna get beside us. Got it just like my Menagers, and I'm tryna get game. She chose, it ain't the same. He cold, I might be faded. I'm gone, but still never break that code. I hit the studio, hit record. Heard I spit that raw. If you was looking fun, you might find. She wanted me to, too bad I can't. Remember's money over, keep your family over. I'ma go hard for my family, I'ma go hard for my dogs. Keep nothing but a honey, I'ma get this in my all. To a be so crazy. Okay, my day was amazing. Her raised me. She say all the gym closed, so she been feeling lazy. She been late night snagging. Baby, several watches later, I still rock and rollin'. I'm praying for my homie. I sleep by and everybody know it. I hate it when a pretty girl starts snoring. Looking in the mirror like you a lucky man. How you gon' forget you spent $100 grand?
This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Brooklyn, New York, as the Nets take it to the hardwood here at the Barclays Center. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. Phoenix right now in the middle of a road trip. It's a disappointing segment of the season for this team, no doubt about it, as the losing streak has continued, guys, to grow. Oh, that was terrific.
And Harden, absolute vicious dunker. Terrific at bouncing towards the rim for the epic throwdown.
Well, you can be the judge of if it's fair or not, but Kyrie Irving has earned himself the reputation of being moody, to say the least.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes that sword cuts both ways. Sometimes it's the players, sometimes it's the media, and the media's perception. It's a combination of the two. Clearly, Kyrie can sometimes go off on tangents and come from left field in interviews. I mean, he's not the only player, present or past, that's been guilty of that. One thing you can't deny, though, is this guy loves the game. And it's a matter of continuing to mature and grow as a leader. So I say give him more time, and he'll refine himself in that area.
And it's kind of the running joke when you think of James Harden, often maligned for his lack of effort defensively, but quite honestly, I thought he improved a great deal a season ago.
And you know, Greg, I observed the same thing. His overall commitment was better. And not just steals and blocks either. I'm just talking about his awareness, his commitment to that end of the floor. It was a focal point. If he continues on that track, I think he's going to make an impact at that end as well.
And the jam by Harden.
And I think one of the things understated about Harden, he's a great athlete. I mean, he can rise and bounce. He's strong. He's quick. He can easily punch it on you when he gets to the rim.
Booker outside. Three-pointer. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And really, Booker is as lethal as they come from deep. Can't allow him to get into a groove.
Oh, Kev, he put some anger behind that one.
You're telling me.
Treated the rim like it stole something from him.
Paul goes in, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting. Free throws here. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
That's an example of Chris Paul reading the floor and being aggressive. The defense can't react quick enough, and he gets a trip to the line.
And so Paul nails both of them. Greg, if your system overall for these teams, if the schemes don't seem to be working, how much can you really change before you get to the offseason, or in particular, before you get to the playoffs?
It's never easy. A system change would come typically with a coaching change, and the reality is you also have to evaluate the roster, and you can't fit that square peg into a round hole. Whatever your system is, it's got to be catered to the personnel you have. You can't go the other way around, and I think that's what separates oftentimes the good coaches from the great ones.
Here's Harden. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And Clark, when you look at the footwork of James Harden, arguably some of the best in the history of this league.
And you know, Greg, he studied the greats. I mean, he loved Ginobili's Euro step and then added it to his own game. Now he's taking that to another level, and he's the one giving out the lessons. But you're right, got great strength, but the footwork is really outstanding.
And here is Bridges. We saw him with 10 points last game. In a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Brooklyn.
Really some great drives to the basket here early on for these guys.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
Nets leading by 4. Pass to Harris. Back to Irving. And the call will be against Langston Galloway. That's his first foul. 1:58 left in the first quarter. To the wing right side. The Nets working the ball around now. There's Shamet off target with his 3.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Johnson in the corner. Out to Saric. Another shot. And he lays it up and in.
Saric knows he has the touch needed to capitalize inside.
Harden, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Swiped it away. In transition, here come the Nets. Green leading the charge.
Yeah, a volume shooter, and Harden is aggressive and assertive at really trying to jumpstart himself. And when he does, watch out.
Pass to Galloway. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And despite the size disadvantage, attacking the heart of that defense.
You know what, guys, honestly, I didn't think he'd win that battle. I mean, that's a lot of height to give up.
Moore outside. The shot goes down and it gets this game back to even.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Pass to Luwawu. And here's Harden. A 3-pointer off the mark. 23 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Kaminsky. Johnson in the corner. Inside. Saric. And slam dunk by Saric.
You know, in close, he's capable of hammering it down, and that's why you got to keep Saric away from the basket.
And the last second attempt doesn't fall. Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first. And some good action in the books as we get back to the game that's been pretty close here so far. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Suns.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
Something else they've done a good job of tonight, you know, right from the start, is penetrating and scoring.
Brooklyn trailing. And that one drops for him. Irving's got his first bucket of the night.
Outstanding body control there by Kyrie. I mean, he continues to score on tough defense, and it never fails to amaze me how he's able to do that so often.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Since the Nets acquired Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, the franchise has gone from being an up-and-comer to a potential powerhouse in the East. That's necessitated changes on the bench and on the court, as the Nets have added some new veterans. The time is now for Brooklyn to stand up and make its move in the East. Kevin, back to you.
Well, we'll see how they do. David, thank you. Irving, good.
Hey, the skills of Kyrie are obvious, but what isn't so obvious is his underestimated strength.
Kicks it out to Paul. Crowder feeling it out a bit. 6 to shoot. No good from Booker. To the paint. Here's Harris. Pass to Jordan. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Jay Crowder. You know, Greg, we know there's some power finishers in the NBA like Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he complains a lot that he needs to sell contact rather than muscle through it. How do you evaluate those kind of power finishers in the game?
Well, I mean, there's still power will always play a role, especially when you can add in quickness and athleticism. And I think you start right there with Giannis. I mean, he's kind of epitomizes that. LeBron obviously is still in that category. And a guy like Kawhi Leonard, he can send you into the stanchion when he gets going downhill as well.
Here's Irving. And the rejection by Ayton. Bridges shot. Good. And now it's a 3-point Phoenix lead.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low. And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm. And basketball in the blood for Devin Booker. I mean, his father, Melvin, started at the University of Missouri and played pro ball. Started in high school. Devin trained with his father, trying to follow his path.
Pass to Bridges. Moves back up. The kick out to Crowder with 1 on the clock. And Crowder slams it in.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Making a statement for sure. I mean, we'll see if they can maintain that aggressive approach, guys.
And we know the story. Booker moving from Michigan to Mississippi to live with his father and develop his skills.
And 4:30 a.m. alarms to train on the beach before the summer sun, getting to practice 2 hours early and staying late. Booker, not a freak athlete, so he had to work harder and drill the fundamentals.
And Paul gets it to go in.
You cannot underestimate Chris Paul's ability to finish through contact just because he's small. I mean, he's as tough as they come.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
I mean, a tough one. Faced some serious intensity in terms of that comeback, and they just got overwhelmed in that fourth quarter. Unfortunately, just couldn't stay in the game long enough to force overtime.
Kicks it out to Johnson. Pass to Green. .136 left in the first half of the game. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Mikal Bridges picks one up.
And, you know, after being a sixth man during the beginning of his career, Harden has blossomed into a big-time star. He's a top-tier combo guard in this league now.
Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Jordan with the rebound. And so it's Harden bringing it up for the Nets. And going against Phoenix, their first meeting of the season.
And this was as even a matchup as you'll find in the NBA. Split the season series down the middle, 1 apiece.
Yeah, this is really tight. I mean, it's splitting hairs when you talk about these teams. You get the feeling if they play 10 games, each side would win 5.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line. Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And take a look at what he's been able to do at the free throw line. 82% more than acceptable.
You know, there's been some improvement in his free throw shooting this year. His percentage has taken a little jump compared to last season.
Pass to Bridges. A 3-ball. Rebound, Brooklyn.
Yeah, and a dangerous trend here as they're starting to live and die with outside jumpers.
Really good point. I mean, you want to keep that balance and attacking inside.
creates space for shooters, and having shooters creates opportunities inside, so it works hand in glove.
And it's more penetrating. Now here's Kaminsky. Oh, Ayton in position. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And the impressive reach of Ayton. Lob it up his way, and he'll take care of the rest.
Right side, Jordan. And the dunk by Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
Here's Harden. And the jam by Harden.
Ferociousness from Harden, looking like he wants to tear the rim off.
And so it's Brooklyn. In the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're playing a cruising game inside, and it's working for them. Back right after this. And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. Out to Harris. Three-pointer. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
You know, like a lot of shooters, Harris prefers to release off a pass, catch and shoot, not the dribble.
And Joe Harris, the lethal shooter, he can also be a threat in the pick-and-roll game.
Yeah, Harris does a great job reading what a defense is giving. He's more than just a catch-and-shoot type of player. Harris can hit shots on the move and isn't afraid to go at defenders.
The Suns have made all of their free throws so far tonight, going 6 for 6.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Yeah, in general, they've been very solid. I mean, free throw shooting isn't something they've had to worry about too much this season, guys.
It's good from long range.
You know, Harden will burn you when you overcommit and leave guys open. He's excellent at sensing when you're out of position.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we all know that there are some people who dislike James Harden's style of play. They're bored watching him shoot free throws. He said, "I see how teams guard me and find ways to exploit it. I just outthink the game, and I'm faulted for it." Kevin, that may be, but it's hard to argue with the results. Back to you.
You're right, one of the top scorers in league history, David. Thanks for that report.
You know, this is why they trust Paul to run the offense. I mean, he's so good at getting the ball to guys on time.
Whoa, what a finish!
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
Boy, and I used to love going up and jamming it down like that, guys.
Pass to Harden. And Harden with the stuff.
All Harden needs is a little separation. Once the screen comes his way, he's looking to pull up.
Paul outside. And here is Bridges. And a miss there on the triple.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Irving surveying the floor. Pass to Harris. Jordan with it. He's covered by Ayton. Harden draws the double. It's good, and that takes him to 77% shooting this game, 10 for 13. Ray, can you really compare players from completely different eras? I mean, people love to talk about the greatest of all time.
You know, Kev, some players do transcend eras. There's no doubt about that. Wilt's a great example, and there are many others. But in reality, to your point, the style
and the way in which the game was played was so different that it isn't fair. I mean, all you can be is the best of your generation, or one of the best, and I think that should stand no matter what the conversation is.
Like, there's no doubt in your mind Oscar Robertson could play in this era as well as he played when he played.
No doubt. Bill Russell, all those guys,
yes,
they're truly
yes.
great ones. So much of your ability to perform at a high level is built around your confidence and your belief in your abilities, and those guys had it as much as anybody who's ever played the game.
Pass to Sharch, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sharch.
Yeah, and I think he was surprised to see that pass coming his way and just really reacted too late.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. 9 feet out. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
And it's Moore penetrating. Comes up empty down low. Nets leading by 14. Here's Irving. That's good again. His 7th basket. 7 for 10 from the floor.
Knifing through the defense like warm butter on a biscuit. Irving knows how to get to the rim.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. And he gets it to go.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Outside Irving. Kicks it out to Johnson. Nets with a new shot clock. And Harris wide open. He shoots. The rebound by Johnson.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Galloway with the bucket.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Suns trailed by 14. .35 seconds left in the third quarter.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they've just got to keep on keeping on. Keep drawing contact, attacking, getting to the line. That will certainly give them a chance to get back into the game.
Nets leading by 12. Here's Harden. Lays it up off the glass. Harden's got 30.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Pass to Sharch. His three-pointers off the mark. And it's Harden with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. And the jam by Harden.
In addition to his strength, Harden has deceptive quickness. He just has this unique knack to get by whoever's guarding him because he's strong and crafty.
A shot by Kaminsky. Nobody around. Phoenix no good that time either. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit.
All right, now, I want everyone here at the Barclays Center to welcome to the court your Nets dancers.
Will make it tough to come back. Nets out in front, up by. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. So it's Phoenix now. They trail by 16. Here's Paul. And it's good for 2.
CP3 on a solo spurt ability surge. There's not much you can do as a defender when he gets on the roll like this.
Harden draws the double. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Harden's got 14 points now in the second half.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
And sometimes that's the best policy when you're going up against a big guy. Take it to the 10. Right at him. Get to the rack.
Jammed by Harden.
Yet another bucket in close. That's how he's earning his points today.
Carter outside to the inside. Ayton. And the layup is good.
And a strong showing of physical strength there from Ayton. Defenders have their hands full when he's around the rim.
Greg, you really began to emerge and got on the national scene at UNLV, but you started your college career at Portland, where you were actually named the Conference Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, how about I actually averaged more points in Portland than in any season I played at Vegas. Totally different roles, but Portland's always going to have a sweet spot in my heart. My first child was born in the great city of Portland.
Kicks it out to Paul. It's stolen by Brown. It's 2-on-1. Jumps up. Carter pulls it in. Suns trail by 17. Here's Paul. That's in there. Carter with the assist. 16 points for Chris Paul.
Never surprising to see Chris Paul start the break now. But as we see right there, he's just as good at finishing.
And Harden with the stuff.
And you know what? This guy is just a natural-born scorer.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And just a little too lax with that possession, and it cost him.
And I tell you what, more brain-neutral plays like that one, and they'll have a hole deeper than the one they're already in.
Pass to Irving. There's the triple. But they'll get another chance. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Shot clock at 6. Here's Harden. Knocked loose. Paul with the steal. Booker with no one around. A three-pointer, no good. Nets leading by 17. Harris inside the line. Pass to Brown. And there's the foul on Jay Crowder. That's his third foul of the game. And Phoenix making a change here. Here's Irving. 6 on the shot clock. Let's it go from deep. Brown, good. Brown's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
The offensive rebound. For the 3. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Irving's got 21.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Nets.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
And looking at the trajectory of the season, this is the first of 2 meetings on the year. So this will be a solid win to go up 1-0 in the season series here against Phoenix.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for James Harden.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
And he's good on the second. Boy, that was a momentum killer to start last season, wasn't it, Greg? 25-game suspension for DeAndre Ayton.
And he sprained his ankle in his return game. The Suns at full strength, able to win some games. He's obviously a huge part of their future.
51 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Galloway. It's rebounded by Von. And the Nets with possession. They're on a 19-7 run. Pass to Perry. And stolen by Ayton. An even 3-on-3 break. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. And that one falls for Carter. And Phoenix making a change here. Carter hits them both. .32 seconds left in the fourth. Pass to Vonleh. Here's Chiozza. Hands it from downtown.
And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
The shot by Nader, no good.
A bit of pride at stake, trying to get that last three ball back, but couldn't get it to fall. Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Looked to me like just a frustration foul. It really kind of sums up the game they're having in general.
No good. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going.
Plus I'm fresh about that. I go hard, no quit. I bought that work, I don't need no. Spend down around that. Posted on the block. Ain't let nobody, you don't love yourself. Put all my feelings on the show. And I just need my. I feel I don't need nobody else. Yeah. You save me from myself. I don't need nobody else. You save me from myself. I don't need nobody else. You save me from myself. I don't need nobody else. Myself, I don't need nobody else.
Attracted to the money making. Wolves in sheep clothing, I see it now.
We are in Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, for an interconference matchup right here. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And giving us the rundown from the sideline, David Aldridge. Take a look at the Suns. What a story right now for these guys. Win after win. It's been a phenomenal stretch.
Well, this team is a lot of fun to watch. Everything seems to be going their way. But listen, they're making their own breaks now. They're taking advantage of situations and opportunities. And they're doing everything right on both ends of the floor.
Here's Harden. And with the stuff.
Irving doing a nice job there being creative and efficient with that beautiful assist.
And so it's Paul bringing it up for Phoenix. 4-point game. They're getting their first look of the season at the Nets in this one.
And both of these sides were fighting tooth and nail for a playoff spot and split their season series at one apiece.
And you have to think that they'll know just how much is at stake in these meetings.
Well, you can be the judge of if it's fair or not, but Kyrie Irving has earned himself the reputation of being moody, to say the least.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes that sword cuts both ways. Sometimes it's the players, sometimes it's the media, and the media's perception. It's a combination of the two. Clearly, Kyrie can sometimes go off on tangents and come from left field in interviews. I mean, he's not the only player, present or past, that's been guilty of that. One thing you can't deny, though, is this guy loves the game. And it's a matter of continuing to mature and grow as a leader. So I say give him more time, and he'll refine himself in that area. And I think one of the things understated about Harden, he's a great athlete. I mean, he can rise and bounce. He's strong. He's quick. He can easily punch it on you when he gets to the rim.
Paul's shot is off. And there's the call on DeAndre Ayton. That'll be his second foul of the game. We've seen a quick start here for the Nets. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
And look at what they did in the fourth quarter. Just totally out of sync and lacking in intensity. And that turned into that huge comeback.
Now here's Booker. His last outing, we saw him pour in 22. Changes up. And it's Shards with the nice basket inside.
Saric is a high-energy guy and does a nice job positioning to get that offensive rebound.
Saric grabs the board.
4 of 5 to start the game. That's their first miss.
No good from Booker. Brooklyn with the ball. They lead by 4. Here's Harden on the wing. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Harden's got 8. Hey, Greg, you played in a different era of NBA defense. When you look at how defense is played now in the league, how do you feel about it?
You know, Kevin, I think the introduction of the zone, by and large, has been great. You get a lot more switching. And I think it brings more skill into the game. Don't get me wrong. I do miss the physicality that we had back in the 90s. But I tell you what, right now, my body wishes I had the opportunity to play in this era.
I bet it does. Back to Harden. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. 2 on the clock. It's stolen by Kaminsky. Crowder goes in, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and they'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. What you love about Crowder, he gives you a little bit of everything at both ends.
I mean, defensively, he'll take on anybody. He's smart, draws a lot of charges. Offensively, he can stretch the floor, and he'll make the extra pass. He's also an opportunistic rebounder.
Yep, that one goes in there.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Irving. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Outstanding body control there by Kyrie. I mean, he continues to score on tough defense, and it never fails to amaze me how he's able to do that so often.
Johnson gets the bucket.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And Clark, when you look at the footwork of James Harden, arguably some of the best in the history of this league.
And you know, Greg, he studied the greats. I mean, he loved Ginobili's Euro step and then added it to his own game. Now he's taking that to another level, and he's the one giving out the lesson. But you're right. Got great strength, but the footwork is really outstanding.
And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Here's Brown, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
That's platinum level dime dropping right there by Harden. Such a smart passer. Gets us to his teammates on time and on target.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Pass to Johnson. A second chance effort. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. The Suns have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
In the corner, Irving with it. Up again. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Well, I like how Jordan embraces his role on this team. I mean, it's all about rebounding and putbacks for him at the offensive end.
James Harden getting it done for the Brooklyn Nets. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Back right after this. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Brooklyn.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Here's Booker, and the dunk by Booker.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Making a statement for sure. I mean, we'll see if they can maintain that aggressive approach, guys.
Jordan with the rebound.
Boy, he has to put that one away. A solid opportunity gone awry.
And it's Harden with the ball for the Nets. 4-point game. He has a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we all know that there are some people who dislike James Harden's style of play. They're bored watching him shoot free throws. He said, "I see how teams guard me and find ways to exploit it. I just outthink the game, and I'm faulted for it." Kevin, that may be, but it's hard to argue with the results. Back to you.
You're right, one of the top scorers in league history, David. Thanks for that report. It's Harden with the drive. The kick out to Irving. Harden outside. And Harden with the stuff.
Yeah, a volume shooter, and Harden is aggressive and assertive at really trying to jumpstart himself. And when he does, watch out.
It's deflected. Back to Paul. There's the 3. Does not find the basket. His 3rd miss. He's made just 1 so far. A nice shot by Irving. Irving's got the lead up to 6 now for Brooklyn.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
You know, we see Chris Paul get to the line a lot because he's always in attack mode, keeping constant pressure on his defenders.
Greg, you and I have talked about how the NBA Finals used to be tape delayed. What's the value of fans getting to see the broadcast live now as opposed to tape delayed as it was back in the 70s?
Isn't that weird to even think that that's the case?
I know it.
You know, I think, Kev, that the fans, they just feel more connected to their favorite teams, the end players. it creates more anxiety, right? Because nowadays there's nothing that can happen that you don't know about it, whether you see it or not. So live sports, especially the NBA Finals, the anticipation, that anxiety that we talked about, man, I'm still a fan to this day in a different way. So I can only imagine when you have a personal vested interest in the team, what that's got to feel like.
Edge of your seat, you're right.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Ayton off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And padding that field goal percentage, just hard to stop Ayton when he gets the ball that deep.
Luwabu's shot is off.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim. That's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
Nets leading by 4.
And basketball in the blood for Devin Booker. I mean, his father, Melvin, started at the University of Missouri and played pro ball. Started in high school. Devin trained with his father, trying to follow his path.
Yeah, you know, guys, this has been far from his best game. A disappointing outing for both him and the team.
Here's Kaminsky. Good. And a nice assist from Booker. Kaminsky's got his second bucket of the night.
Nice job by Kaminsky to get out in transition. Love seeing the big fella run like that.
And we know the story. Booker moving from Michigan to Mississippi to live with his father and develop his skills.
And 4:30 a.m. alarms to train on the beach before the summer sun, getting to practice 2 hours early and staying late. Booker, not a freak athlete, so he had to work harder and drill the fundamentals.
Booker. That one's good. Just his third make brings him to 3 for 8 in this game.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter. And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
For Phoenix, they've shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
And, you know, it seems like Paul is ageless. I mean, still sharp, still quick and fast, and one of the most active players on the floor at all times.
We are having a lot of success from the line here in the second quarter.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long?
Boy, that was a great dunk, and we've got a great game here.
Right wing. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the jam by Harden.
Ferociousness from Harden, looking like he wants to tear the rim off.
Here's Moore. Lays it up and banks it in. Moore's got his first points of the night. Here is Harden. With 1 on the clock. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Nets lead by 4. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. And so it's Irving with it, bringing it up for the Nets. They lead by 4. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Irving's got 10 points in the game.
Hey, the skills of Kyrie are obvious, but what isn't so obvious is his underestimated strength.
Paul's shot is off.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you got to push it and push it every time.
Ayton wide open to the inside. And Jordan sends it back.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. And a minute played as the second half gets going.
You could tell it was almost tunnel vision on that pass. Had no idea where the defender was.
And looking back at what was a stellar career, Greg, if there was one thing you could have done different, do you have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That was a special place, a special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire, but that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously not winning a championship.
I can understand both of them.
Yes.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Mikal Bridges. That's foul number 2 for him. Back to Irving. There's Brown with the 3. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. And following this one, they'll take on the Hornets in New Orleans. They get it again. Crowder. And he banks in the layup. Crowder's got 5.
Finally get one to drop after starting the half with 4 straight clanks.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
And it's Carter missing. Brooklyn leading by 6. And Joe Harris, the lethal shooter, he can also be a threat in the pick-and-roll game.
Yeah, Harris does a great job reading what a defense is giving. He's more than just a catch-and-shoot type of player. Harris can hit shots on the move and isn't afraid to go at defenders.
And here's Harden. He's got 18. Here's Jordan. And he uses the glass on the layup. Jordan's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
Those looks they're allowing are almost automatic. If you allow him to get that close, you deserve to get scored on.
Harden up top. He's a guy we see deliver on a nightly basis, averaging about 24.5 points a game.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And there's the foul on Jay Crowder. That's his first foul. Nets leading by 6. To the left wing. Here's Johnson. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It goes on Devin Booker. It's his first trip to the line. And that one falls for Johnson. The Suns making a switch here. And Johnson drops them both. Suns trail by 8. .144 left here in the third quarter. Pass to Kaminsky. Back to Booker. 6 on the shot clock. Count it. Good. Booker's got 8.
An underrated athlete with a solid handle. Defenders can't always keep up with Booker on the drive.
And Phoenix pushing it up now. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
And that's how you do it, guys. Ball pressure and then get some runouts.
The shot's good. Johnson's got 4 this quarter.
Not much resistance from the defense. Easy play that time for him.
And there's the foul to try to stop the break, and that'll be a clear path to the basket. 2 free throws coming up, and they'll retain possession. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for Brooklyn.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good, crisp passes.
54 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Pass to Luwawu. Here's Vonleh. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Suns trail by 8. And the dunk by Booker.
And this is how you convert in transition. Booker running the floor well and being rewarded for it.
Johnson. And Johnson with the stuff.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that dunk.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
And that's terribly demoralizing for a defense, guys. I mean, they know he's going to keep coming and coming and coming, and that they may not have an answer for it.
And slam dunk by Saric.
You know, once he's in the paint, Saric is ready to throw it down.
We've got 13 seconds left in the third quarter. Pass to Green. Here's Robertson. Off target from outside. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points. It's the Nets leading by 6. And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Paul with the ball. Pass to Booker. Three-pointer. Offensive rebound. Ayton lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
If you can't stop it, here it comes. I'm right at you.
Phoenix with the ball. Paul looking over the floor. Pass to Booker. Releases. The rebound by Luwawu.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Back to Robertson. A 3-ball. The shot, no good. And so Booker will bring it up for the Phoenix Suns. Trailing by 4. Quick shot there, and it's off target. And here are the Nets. Inside. Robertson can't hit.
You know, even though they're on top in this one, you'd like him to be better out there because he's capable of being better. It sure would make things a lot easier, too.
An accurate shooter from all areas of the floor. Booker has the confidence needed to dominate on offense.
Both free throws good from Booker.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they've just got to keep on keeping on. Keep drawing contact, attacking, getting to the line. That will certainly give them a chance to get back into the game.
Out to the right wing. Paul outside. Shot clock at 6. And Jordan sends it back. They get it back. And Ayton throws it down. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
Hey, when you're as big and strong as Jordan is, you expect to get hit. You expect contact, and Jordan doesn't let it bother him.
Pass to Booker to take the lead. Here's Kaminsky, and Jordan sends it back. On the wing, Brown. Harden surveying the D. And Harden with the stuff.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long?
Boy, that was a great dunk, and we've got a great game here.
And now Irving pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And the shot is good. And it's a 6-point Nets lead.
You know, big guys like Jordan who can facilitate are really valuable. Spots the open man and gets it right to him.
Here's Paul. Kyrie Irving with the rebound.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
Good game, boy. Roll it.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Yeah, you get the sense that they're going to start stretching this lead out a little bit.
That one good for 2.
Totally unselfish play there from Aiden. Sends the ball to someone with a wide open look.
Irving up top. That one is good again. He's 6 straight from the floor with the basket.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need him.
Harden outside. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Paul with the ball. Guarded now by Irving. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
The craftiness of Paul really on display everywhere, but especially inside and forcing defenders to commit fouls.
And so Paul nails both of them.
And good aggressive basketball on that trip, drawing the foul, converting the free throws, and then also narrowing the gap.
In the corner, Irving with it. Jordan high post. Paul with the steal.
And not sure they've got enough time to save themselves.
It doesn't look good, even with a quick bucket here.
Yes!
He is showing signs of maturity in these moments. It's clear that Aiden takes pride in coming through for his team.
Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Focus, focus, focus. Just make the simple play. The risky cross-court pass there, and it costs them. You got to be sure that you can get it there in time before you let that one go. Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Cool, calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game. Yes.
Harden with it. Now guarded by Ayton.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
A drive by Booker. Trying to get open is Crowder.
Good! And they do have a foul to give.
11 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Timeout called the Nets. They trailed by 1. 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Guys, what do you think?
Yeah, always intriguing to see what a coach draws up in this situation.
And we call those ATOs, or plays run after a timeout. They often make the difference in a game.
Seconds left in the fourth. The kick out to Irving. Here's Harden.
Gotta make anybody besides
this game though, I know my mom is like,
he embraces this stuff. It's right in his wheelhouse. Make somebody else shoot it.
And the Suns call time. What's your take, guys?
Not sure they have enough time for the catch and shoot here. Only hope is to try for a tip in off the inbound. They've got their work cut out for them on this possession.
Here's Bridges. And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. What a show they put out here at home tonight.
I mean, these are those games that feel so great to win, and really, it's like a knife in the gut to lose. You got to love